It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where division rivals will clash in the NFC East. Great game in store for y'all, and it's all up next.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for our visitors here, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually...
Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their third-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book.
Oh, the first play of the game going to be intercepted. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line.
Wow, just one snap in, partner, and the complexion of this game has already changed because for the defensive side, they just handed their offense a short field and a big early advantage. And even though it's only the first snap of the game, we're going to look back on this one and see if it has lasting effects as this game moves on.
So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their third-year quarterback.
And what he's thinking about right now is first down, let's find a way to make a big play. Because when you get a sudden change situation and that defense has to rush onto the field unexpectedly, you might catch them having a defensive breakdown or not quite prepared.
And it was really... And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. It's their quarterback. His third touchdown now on the year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead.
That's a great alternative there to the old-fashioned quarterback sneak. Instead, let your quarterback take it in the shotgun and essentially choose his own path. He scans the situation, makes the right read, and takes it into the end zone on the QB draw.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. Not the start that they were hoping for. The interception on the first play of the game. It leads to 6 points the other way. How do you rebound from here?
Yeah, a little bit of humor. Got to laugh that one off and not the ha-ha, that was very funny, but kind of like, can you believe that just happened? Let's go out and play now. Let's just start over.
The numbers for him from a week ago, 16 carries, 62 yards.
It's a pretty mediocre week for him on the ground. Certainly a boon to his offense if he can get a little more output on his touches this week. He should get some more early carries as his team tries to get him into a rhythm.
And that is well read there defensively. He was looking to use his speed to get the edge, but they said no way. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. Back to throw. Barnes working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion left. On first down, it's Stevens, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Barnes. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
When you look at this defense,
and they've played well against the pass, currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, it'd easily move into the top 5.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive.
Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Can't get away, and he's taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense?
A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Back to throw. Barnes. He finds his man complete. That's Stevens. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. Quick hitter here, it's complete. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up second down. And he will score. It's a touchdown. 14 yards. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, you know, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 14 carries, 119 yards, and the score.
Leading the league in rushing after week 1, you know he'd love to double down and continue that type of play here in week 2.
Operating from the gun, Barnes. That'll be complete to Cook. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. So the completion good for 7 there. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. And on now is the punter, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. It's caught. Cameron, left side. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd down and 2.
Now a handoff up the middle. Stevens. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. They'll keep it on the ground. Stevens. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
2nd and 2. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Flores. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
2nd and a couple.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Looked like a pretty smart decision that time to keep the football by the quarterback.
It was, because you saw how the runner got swarmed. So you got to pull the ball from his arms, keep it yourself, and get what you can. And the most underrated player on this play is the running back, because even if he doesn't have the ball, he has to act like he does in order to attract the defense.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
2nd and 2, 1st down marker at the 5-yard line. And he's going to use his legs here.
And maybe the wrong read there, as he's going to go down immediately. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. 7-7, our score.
The USFL Season 2 2025 Week 2 games and highlights will be coming up next on GOAT's International Sports Showdown 2025.
Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun.
The USFL Season 2 2025 Week 2 matchup is now live streaming on GOAT's International Sports Showdown 2025.
So instead of forcing the field goal, it'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, the force was trying to make something happen that just didn't need to, right? I mean, plays happen, let it go. It's over. Instead, he creates a penalty.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations.
Week 2 New York Guardians 1-0 at Washington Federals 1-0.
A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And his guys have taken the lead. An out route there for the score, a quick out route there for the score.
Yeah, you're not really surveying the defense on this one. You're just counting on timing, making this play happen. 1-2, ball's out of his hands, knows where he's going, just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 14-7. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The USFL Season 2 2025 Week 2 matchups will be coming up next on GOAT's International Sports Showdown 2025.
That 7-0 lead of theirs is short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. Barnes. Throw left side complete. That's Flores. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
From the gun on 3rd down. Barnes.
Week 2 Game of the Week Chicago Blitz 0-1 at Houston Roughnecks 0-1.
As he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10.
Throwing to start the drive. Barnes. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Barnes. Over the middle. Rodgers has it. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The offense on 3rd down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Up the middle they go. It's Stevens. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. A nice run there, 8 yards, moves him much closer to the goal line now for 3rd down.
He'll try again.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His third rushing touchdown on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
So another touchdown for him on the year now, Charles. He had 2 in the opener last week and hits pay dirt for a third time here.
And with good health, he's got a really good chance to be up there among the leaders in touchdowns scored when this season comes to an end. Quick question, partner. Is it bad luck to toast him with a sports drink?
Not at all, partner. I think that's a fantastic idea. Cheers.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Back to throw. Barnes.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted.
And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
They started this drive backed up against the wall by the turnover, but I love their fight, planted their feet, and forced the incompletion on 1st down.
And he comes back with one complete.
Holding offense.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now a handoff up the middle. Stevens. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Well, Charles, I think you'd have to call that a win for the defense after the turnover already in field goal range, and they had to settle for 3.
Yeah, the beautiful part is you start so close to the end zone that your thought process on offense has to loosen up a little bit because you're thinking to yourself, you're almost guaranteed 3. Let's take some good shots at the end zone and try and turn it into 6.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Gray. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. Oh, it's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches.
Still want to be prepared for a pass.
Looking to throw. Barnes. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. Touchdown. A big play there. 47 yards. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit. He's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. But if you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes,
bye-bye,
he just takes off and goes. And I think that's what we just saw there.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
From the 35, here's 2nd and a couple.
Back to throw. Barnes looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Flores. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. And a huge play that time. 43 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Got it complete to Rodgers. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. He finds his man complete. That's Stevens. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Back out comes this offense now late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. Able to find Gray here. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until... And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And the turnover, a huge break. They'll start first and goal. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. Operating from the gun, Barnes. Over the middle, complete. It's Flores. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. 2nd and 4. Eluding the pressure right. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. It's their quarterback in the final seconds of the first half as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
What an effort there. Sometimes you hold your breath a bit when you see your quarterback diving for the end zone. You don't want him to land on a shoulder wrong or take a big shot. But he looks none the worse for wear here, and that winds up a touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And a route is on here in this first half. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. Here we go on the return from the 1-yard line. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
At their own 28-yard line.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one, as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you two in a bit. For now, plenty of early game action around the NFL to get you caught up on, so let's get to it. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat. And that game tied at 7 in the second quarter. Next, we head off to check out another game. And you can see they are out in front in that one. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now.
Operating from the gun, Barnes.
And that went to the right side and incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick-6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy was...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the return will stop right around the 25. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
They had the big halftime lead. Their defense just helped them out further by forcing the turnover, so things are starting to look pretty rosy.
They certainly are, but they've got to be careful about getting complacent, though. They still need to go out and run their offense efficiently.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Up the middle they go. It's Stevens. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. Looking to throw. Barnes.
And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Back to throw. Barnes. Throwing middle, and it's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
They run the counter. Stevens. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Looking to throw. Barnes.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Flores. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 12 more yards there and another first down. Back to throw. Barnes. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And down inside the 15 he goes. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays. They'll run on first down. Stevens. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Stevens. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 9 here.
Looking to throw. Barnes. His pass caught at the 4.
And boy, he had the marker square in his sights, but a good tackle is going to leave him about a yard or so short.
So the snap will come from the 3, but remember, they don't need the touchdown. They can get the first down if they get a yard, and the ball gets to the 2. They'll try and run for it. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Back to throw. Barnes. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. It'll go as a loss of 8 and a tough result there on 1st and goal.
Well, surprise, surprise. 1st and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak. No running play. They decided to throw for it, but the pressure got to him quickly and put the quarterback down.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably...
And it's caught. Touchdown. From 10 yards out. And this offense continues to pour it on.
Well, I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you, no question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
And what a drive that was. 16 plays all told. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. And complete right side to Cook. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He finds his man, complete. That's Flores. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. A big-time sack there on 4th down. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
On first down, Stevens.
Has some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 51 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
They'll look to throw now on first down.
No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That was a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
They'll run on first down. It's Gray, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. Looking to throw. Barnes. He finds his man complete. It's Flores. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. And this offense on third down today, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. That is caught. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First target, first catch at a first down. Back to throw. Barnes. Over the middle, complete. That's Flores. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 48-yard line.
It's a solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38.
They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Back to throw now on first down. And this is Cook with a grab. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Gray. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line.
A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns, and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And his guys are able to cut into that deficit.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the...
And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs. And I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds. That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead's down to 24. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one won't bounce their way. It's covered up by the hands team. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Here is 3rd and 5.
Up the middle they go. Stevens.
And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Throw left side complete. That's Gray. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Cook makes the catch on the out route.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds.
That's good for a 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Back to throw again. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. Again, he'll drop to throw. It's complete to Cook. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
And this pass caught by Gray.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up second down.
6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 21-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Barnes. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on third down. Looking to throw, Barnes. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining.
So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here. 1st and 10.
Back to throw. Barnes. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit.
He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
So that last kickoff, just a mere formality, obviously, Charles, wrapping up a game that they should be very happy about, in which they got the win.
Yeah, I thought they were clearly the better team by the end, and they earned this one with a terrific game plan and consistent effort throughout. Only fitting that they had the ball when the clock hit 0.
So for our visitors, it's an early road victory as they move to 2-0 now on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they'll fall to 1-1, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.